Well, for those of you who are on the edge of your seats after last time, here's the solution to the problem. Cody turns back to normal after all. I am sick of hearing that music. What do you mean you've decided to be Aquitalian? You think we did all that just for you to turn around and tell us that you weren't going to do it anymore? Oh, you've seen this animation. Skip that, skip that. Cody becomes Pennon. Cody joined you. Oh, you could have just told us both of those things at once, Tecmo. Anyway, when you get outside, these snotty little brats order you to name the town. For the sake of the film, I'll call it Smith. Isn't it Smith? Strange. And just at that precise moment, who comes along but, you guessed it, Bosun! Find the rest of your friends. Quick, Holman Cruiser's coming. I hear that your fourth friend arrived in Decatus. One of the four great Holman Cruiser's followers is... Not again! Am I the only one who's getting fed up of Bosun appearing and then leaving without giving us any clue what he just said? He just said that a fourth Aquitalian is in Decatus. He knows that somehow, and he also knows that there's a Holman Cruise follower after her. Oh, how mysterious. Now hang on a minute, Tina says that's the unknown man Ray was telling us about. I've shown you every single cutscene in this entire game. Ray has not said a single word. What's going on here? Is this some kind of conspiracy between Cody and Tina and Ray? He never said this to her! You don't know this stuff! But on the bright side, this is probably one of about 5 places in the entire game that resembles a conversation between the characters. They hardly ever say anything. Up. And then straight to the Catters. Presumably we have to go into a completely random house that was previously empty. I was correct! Ha-ha! Oh no! Gangsters! Like the bad men! But wait, before they get to fight you, this strange person appears. I am Leona. Leona? Is this the fellow Aquitalian? Oh no! Right on cue! An evil person appears! Kids! Kids! What does that mean? Since I, Dram, am here to take her away, the 5 Aquitalians will forever be apart. Haven't the Holman Cruiser's followers learned from Gyarados' mistake? You don't kidnap the person and just leave them somewhere. Oh well. Now Dram is hidden, somewhere in the town. She could be anywhere. Now think very carefully for a moment. Think logically. Nobody will help you here. How do you find Leona? Where is she? Where do you think she is? Just think. Okay, now you've thought about that, I'll tell you how. Presumably she's in the rich section of the town, behind that wall. To get behind that wall, go behind this wall. Talk to someone who apparently is there who sells explosives. Of course you don't know that person's there, you don't know why he's there, you don't know how he is there, you can't see behind that wall to even know you can walk there. You've got to select the explosives from your item menu in front of the wall that's actually quite normal looking, and you wouldn't expect you had to use a bomb there. And then the wall, eventually, after a small period of time, close up. Wasn't that obvious? No! It wasn't obvious! This is just like one of those puzzles in the likes of Legend of Zelda 1, where you have to play a flute beside this completely random looking pool, so it opens up the entrance to a dungeon that you wouldn't expect to be there. So the same with Dragon's Curse. Now this is a really strange one. At one point in the game, you've got to get through this big lava pit. But you take damage and you can't hope to get across it before dying. So what do? There's a shop in here, but it doesn't sell anything. But it turns out that you've got to collect about 50 of these stones that are dropped randomly by enemies at a very slow rate until they'll sell you the lava boots you need to get over the lava. But until then you'll just keep trying to go through and dying. But there's no indication that you have to do that. All 3 of these puzzles are what I would describe as an illogical, logical puzzle. There's no real way you can imagine and hope to get these puzzles just by figuring it out, because you can't. It's pure chance. You save Leona. She's in the hideout of a house She's in the basement of a house in the rich section of town. Apparently Dram's so evil that he decided to just shove her in the basement of some rich guy's house. Just stop and think about that for a minute. But remember, this is the greatest fantasy ever told, so what do you expect? Normality? Logic? No! No, not that animation again! Skip it! Leona joins you, but become Pennon. Smith! I came here to show you how Smith's growing. Builder Bun's been busy and built lots of big houses, and so has Farmer Baz. But when you talk to Farmer Baz, he tells you found a strange rock. The mysterious music appears. Oh, it's Morgan! You see, at this point in the game, you've got nowhere else on the continent to go. So Tecmo apparently took the easy option at this point and just got Morgan to dig a subaquatic tunnel to a different continent for our heroes to explore. Boxtown. Is this town full of boxers? Of course not, it's full of boxing fans! The boss of the town is Andy. Obviously we've got to fight Andy, that's the only reason why this boxing town exists at all. So let's just fight Andy. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just assume that you're supposed to. Oh, let's skip this battle. Ray wins. Andy gets a very unique sprite. Tecmo, congratulations. Woo! Hooray, hooray, yeah! Yeah, that's brilliant. What's this? Look at this! Look at that! Every single character in this game has only 2 sprites, but right now, before your very eyes, for this exclusive battle, Ray has a sprite of them lifting his arm in the air! You know, it's things like this that make this game worthwhile. It's my fault. Andy says it's my fault. I'll do anything if you forgive me. Is it just me, or do I not have anything to forgive him for? Anyway, Sleeper's Town. What do you think happens in Sleeper's Town? Yeah, people sleep! It doesn't take much to annoy this guy. I'll do whatever you ask. This might have all seemed really confusing, but what actually happened was it turns out there's 3 alley brothers. And before they'll move some rock that's blocking your way, you've got to, well, beat them up. Is that a joke? They join Ray, but before they leave, they move the stones. I'd like to ask you, what are they doing to those stones? What on earth was that? Anyway, now at this point of filming, I'm afraid that my camera went a bit, well, it closed in when it shouldn't have. Very stupid of it, but don't worry, that will get fixed in the next part, I promise you. Now then, at this point in the game, our heroes have to walk through our heroes have to walk through this desert. In the middle of this massive desert, there's a small town. And as you see, it gets its own unique music. When you talk to the inhabitants, they talk about how great a town this is. They really love the town, apparently. But if you try to leave the town, you meet this vicar. You can't read the text box, but he's saying that you won't escape the town. What's this? That can't be right. Oh no. The music. No! It's Dram! Yes, that's right. This town is a false town. Dram created it. It's an illusion. Why? I'm not entirely sure. But basically what happens is, when you leave, when he disappears and you leave the town, you're stranded in an alternate dimension. Now this part of the game I cannot stand. This is a puzzle. Anywhere you go in this massive desert, you'll just arrive back at the town again. If you walk into the town, you hear this sound effect, and you appear outside the town. No matter what you do, you'll just keep appearing in the town and out again. And now there's a way. Now eventually, sooner or later, you'll walk into a town and you'll finish this puzzle and you'll be able to continue on the way. But I have no clue how you activate this. I spent ages walking around. I spent an hour walking around this desert trying to find a town to go into. It takes ages. It's madness. Wait a minute, the music! I escaped! I escaped! But there's no time to celebrate yet though, because Dram's headed off to Braska Town to find the next Aquitalian. And when you arrive in town, the camera pans out. This is ominous. You're about to meet Horn Cruise's Airplane Bomber Squadron!